Hi there. Thank you for purchasing an essay correction with us and for sending in your essay. Let's see what you have written us. Let's see, you've got your own topic here. Having a single career is becoming old-fashioned. Several careers are ways of earning money. Okay, fine. Let's see what you said. According to a recent study, the idea of having a solo career has become antiquated. Moreover, the study anticipates that involvement in several careers will turn out to be a new trend, allowing new ways of earning money as well as providing means of continued education. This essay completely agrees with this idea because of its monetary benefits and continued skill development. Okay, so here's a few things that I want to tell you about this introduction. We'll pause here for a minute to talk about your introduction. I liked the grammar. I liked a lot of the vocabulary. I thought that was very good. I didn't find it relevant to refer to a study in your introduction. There's really no reason to do that. We typically refer to studies in our body paragraph when we're trying to provide support for our ideas. So that would be more appropriate. Okay, so that's one thing. And I'll give you some suggestions on what you could have done instead. The second thing that I want to suggest is maybe cutting some of this down. In your effort to rephrase the task, you pretty much included absolutely everything and try to use your own vocabulary. There's really no reason to do all this. So some of this and some of the way it was organized felt more to me like a body paragraph than it did an introduction. Your introduction needs to be brief. It needs to have a couple of different elements. So yes, on the one hand, um, it does need to rephrase the topic. On the other hand, you don't want to spend so much time on it because you're not going to really score a lot in terms of task achievement by spending time here. Where you basically improve the potential of getting a higher task achievement score is by developing your body. So don't spend too much time with your introduction. It literally should just have a brief restatement of the topic and then your position. That's it. So I liked this sentence, your last sentence, but again, I would have reduced some of this. So you could have made it a little different. And I want to tell you a couple of other things about this. So again, I would have gotten rid of this entirely. Okay. You could have said something like nowadays, and that would be fine. Or it is a widespread belief that, okay? Again, this would have been more appropriate. Now, I told you that I liked your vocabulary, and I do, but I want to just show you that you have to be really careful here. Look at this. The idea of having the idea of having and then all you did was change single and you made it solo, and then career, and then you changed just the tense here. Has become, they said is becoming. And rather than saying is an old fashioned one, you said antiquated. So essentially, yes, you rephrased, but you didn't rephrase enough um the way you should have. Okay, you essentially took the same sentence and just made a couple of changes of words. In other words, single became solo, has become, and then old fashioned became antiquated. So this isn't really enough of a rephrasing. Okay, you really needed to just create a new sentence which essentially introduce the topic, but definitely with your own words, with your own language, with your own syntax. Okay. Now, again, I told you I didn't really care for this more over here. Let's see how we could have changed this sentence. Let me just look at it for a second. Involvement in several careers will turn out to be a new trend. Okay, you really just could have condensed this a lot. So, um, what am I suggesting? I'm suggesting something like nowadays it is widely believed that um, people should have more than one way of earning income, as this provides several benefits. I completely agree with this idea because of the monetary benefits provided, as well as continued skill development. Okay, so you can see I really condensed it all down, but I got all the key points here. I got all the major elements that we wanted. And so it's what I would like to see from you. Maybe it wasn't particularly fluent because I'm saying it aloud rather than writing it, which would have been a deal. But I think you get the point of what I'm suggesting to you. Okay, let's move on here with your body paragraphs. In recent years, job markets in developing countries have become excessively competitive, and companies are able to afford human labor at cheap rates, but offering them not less salary packages, but maybe smaller. That would make sense. A smaller package, not a less package. Uh, this means that most employees are underpaid for the same job that is a so-called highly paid profession in a developed country. Okay. Earning an adequate amount of salary has challenged many, especially those who only have a single source of income. Therefore, to survive in these desperate times, one must sign up for several careers at a time, which allows financial stability and leads to a prosperous life. Okay, let's see here. I want to see how appropriate this was in terms of the task achievement and the topic development. Uh, so what you did is you kind of explained why this is happening. Okay, which is not entirely what the question asked. Okay, so in other words, it's almost as if the essay was asking, why do you think this is happening, and to what extent do you agree? So this whole paragraph explains the background, like why this is happening. You talked about poor salary packages and you know, not being able to support one's lifestyle and so forth. So that wasn't really what they wanted you to do. And then it was only in here, it was only like at the very last sentence in your paragraph that you actually answered what you were supposed to be talking about. I hope that makes sense. So I really would like to see this paragraph reorganized, restructured, and maybe change some of the information you had around. You should have had a clear topic sentence, okay, here that introduced the central idea of this paragraph. Would have been something like there are a number of reasons why uh, more and more people are choosing to have multiple sources of incomes, one of which is the smaller salary packages they are receiving. Okay, and then you can go into that. So you can say that nowadays, companies are paying their employees less, making it more difficult to get by on their salary packages. And so people who have several skill sets are turning to this um, alternative as a way to, basically support themselves. So if you had organized it in that way and then ended your paragraph with a therefore, etc., it would have been okay. All right. So it was just about organizing this a little differently. All right. So that you first explain, yes, this is happening. I agree with it because of this reason. And then I explain. And then you could have gone into some of the background. But it almost felt like you went about this a little like you went from the end to the front, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's take a look at your next paragraph. In addition, exposing ourselves to more than one type of more than one type of job, yes, helps in developing necessary skills and also provides a means of continued education. Okay, this is good. Having a single job restricts us with limited information. Okay. However, having numerous careers allows reoccurring. Recurring. Okay. Learning opportunities, careful with your spelling, and continued professional development. For instance, a person working in shifts between a marketing job and a call center executive learns about, not allows him, learns about the trending marketing techniques as well as acquires, because it learns and acquires great communication skills. Hence, involvement in more than one career path helps in achieving different professional goals by furthering the education throughout life. Okay. I like this about professional goals and etc. I don't know about the education. Did you really talk about education? You talked about professional development, which I suppose could be considered education. But maybe instead of education, which does make you think of schooling, kind of formal education, maybe you could have talked about let's see, you already used the word professional development. Helps in achieving different goals by furthering a skills development, really. I mean, that's what you're talking about. So that would have been okay here instead. To conclude, working for a single employer has become, this isn't a great word here, not too old, maybe obsolete, maybe outdated, maybe irrelevant. These would have been some nice alternatives in recent times. So people must look forward to several careers at a time because of its financial advantages. And you already said recurring educational opportunities. You used it before, right up here. To try to use a different expression. You could have just said an opportunity for professional development. That would have been a good expression for me here. So I'm seeing a lot of things I really like. You may have noticed that other than in this paragraph and in your introduction. So basically, the bulk of my suggestions and feedback concerned both your introduction and your first body paragraph. I thought those needed a little more work. I thought the second body paragraph and the conclusion were good. Just had some minor suggestions about those. So I'm seeing a lot of really nice things in your writing. I'm seeing a high level of grammar. I'm seeing good, precise vocabulary. And so this is nice. Are there some mistakes with it? Yeah, there are. But I think that you're definitely on the right track as far as that is concerned. And that's great. So that really puts you in a wonderful position. What you need some improvement with is areas covering task achievement and coherence and cohesion. Those are things that I would like to see you um, working on a little bit to improve. So if you enjoyed this feedback and would like to continue working with us and would like more feedback on other essay types, then you definitely would like to consider the essay correction package with us. Those will give you not only task twos, but also task ones and lots of feedback on those. So, and if we work together, we can talk about different questions you have and concerns and address those both in the corrections and in our communication together. So see if that's something you would like to do. I definitely encourage you to do it, and I hope we can work together. So best of luck to you, and thanks for sending this.